gown kind of moving around in the basement, and the whole time
individual
Harriet said this
raven
woman,
can eat
this
up to
ghost
2
woman,
kilograms.
was pointing at one particular spot on the
A
ground
large
in the
flock
basement.
could easily
And then,
devour a
the
reindeer.
same night that Harriet sees this ghost in the basement, Harriet has a dream. And in her dream, she sees this ghost.
This raven
And again,
will
this
have to
ghost
sit
is
this
in
one
that
out for
basement,
now.
and it's pointing at the spot on the basement floor. Except in Harriet's dream, this ghost woman speaks to Harriet and says that she was murdered
Soon,
and her
the
gold
spring
was stolen
thaw
from
will
her
begin
and
Mom
buried
likes
in the
Mr.
basement.
Stop,
Right
you
then,
ruined
there was
it.
this
creating
apparent
a surge
ghost
of
in the
milk
Campo
water.
Lane basement
Its
that was the
cascades
center
and
of that
streams
2-hour-long
and
argument
forms
at the
wetlands
church the following
across
day,
frozen ground.
which ultimately prompted Hannah, her husband, Harriet, the Favell family to get up and storm out to go protect
As the
the
ice
Campo Lane
retreats,
apartment, and then also the
unique
secondary
creature
group
is
followed
unleashed.
right after them, really just to see if they were going to go confront the ghost, because a lot of people thought that's what they're going to go do. And that is basically what Hannah, her husband, and her friends ended up doing. They decided the two men would go down into the basement and attempt to dig
Siberian
up the floor
salamanders
in hopes
are
that they might
perfectly
find this
adapted to
gold
living in areas
that was stolen from
where
this
the lower
murdered
layers
woman
of the
and
soil
buried in the
are
basement.
permanently
But they
frozen.
obviously did not find the gold,
They can
which
withstand
ultimately led to
temperatures as
Hannah
low as
going
minus
down
40
and passing
degrees
out,
Celsius.
and then Harriet also passing out.
This
Hannah and
freeze
Harriet
tolerance
would
is
wake
down
up
to special
after passing out.
compounds in
And
the
when they woke
salamander's
up,
blood.
they would tell these terrifying stories
A
about
natural
what they
form
saw.
of antifreeze
Hannah
prevents
said
the
she went down the
salamander's
stairs, she
cells
went over to
from
the
being
window
damaged.
while the crowd was looking in, and she managed to get this curtain up, and then she yelled
They can
upstairs to her
survive
husband and her
frozen for
friends that she
years
was
in the
coming back up.
permafrost.
But
At
when
depths of
Hannah
up to
actually
14
turned around
meters.
to go to the stairs,
Once
she
thawed out,
realized the
they just
ghost
move
was in
on.
the basement with her. There was this old woman
They
wearing
used
a
the short
white gown
Siberian summer
standing
to
between
breed,
Hannah and the
laying their
stairs,
precious egg
blocking her
sacs
way.
in wetlands
And
and
this
shallow
woman was
pools.
staring at Hannah
Before
really
returning
intently,
to a
and then
sheltered
Hannah
rotten
screamed,
log,
and this ghost
facing the
charged
prospect
at
of a deep
Hannah
freeze
and basically
all over
went
again.
through her body. And it was at that point that Hannah passed out onto the ground.
The Siberian
As for
salamander
Harriet, when
is
she
one of
came
the only
to,
species
her
on Earth
story was
that
even
can
more
survive
terrifying.
these extreme
Harriet said after
temperatures.
she placed that wet towel on Hannah's head, she looked up and she saw the woman in white walking up
During
the
the brief
stairs,
periods
staring
of
directly
warmth
at
in
Harriet.
spring and summer,
And Harriet, she
there were new
froze and
signs of
leaned
life
back and
within
just
these
stared at this
forests.
woman. And the woman, she came right to the top of the stairs, she stopped in the doorway, and then she opened up her mouth grotesquely wide and just continued to stare directly at Harriet. And then with slow, trembling hands, the woman
Having
began
made it through
taking
the
off her
winter,
nightgown,
this
which
great
eventually
gray
fell to the
owl
ground.
now
And
has
Harriet
an
saw
even
this
bigger
woman was
responsibility.
covered in cuts and gashes all over her chest and neck. And then Harriet let out a scream, and she passed out too. Not long
Fluffy
after
and
Hannah and
feisty,
Harriet both
this
came
chick is a
to and
clear
told their
view of
horrible
the
stories,
current hunting
the
ground.
police arrived outside and dispersed the big crowd, which meant Hannah and her husband could finally leave and go back to their own apartment.
Great
They
grays
would.
are devoted
But
parents.
just 12 hours later, Hannah would
Taking it
die.
in turns,
The Sheffield coroner
spend
held
all
an
day
inquest
feeding
into
their
Hannah's
young.
death, but he could find no scientific explanation for why Hannah actually died. And so on
For
her
their
death
chicks to
certificate,
survive,
it basically
mothers will
says
go
she
hungry.
died of fright. She
This
was
female
literally
will lose
scared
nearly
to
a
death.
third of her
Following
body weight
Hannah's
feeding
very
her
bizarre
young.
and basically unexplained death, Harriet, who would
Hunting
survive,
is a
and the Favell
never-ending
family,
task.
they just moved out. They could not stand to be at that apartment any longer. And then also many more